07 STI, and it's almost in stage 2. I don't have access port yet, so today we're going to install some Depo stepper motor electric boost gauge. So pretty simple, you know. Alright, so here's some of the main parts that come in the kit. Along with the gauge, you got, this is the main part of it. This is the boost signal to the gauge. So this is where you hook your manifold vacuum line to. And then you got your main wire that goes from your gauge to your your 12-volt switched accessory. So I'll show you how to wire that in hella clean. And then of course you got your T fitting, and this also came with a filter, which I thought was pretty cool. So I went to the auto parts store and got some other little things. Let's see. This is a Addon circuit. I'll show you how that works when you get up underneath there. I'm just gonna use some wire nuts for now because I actually I plan on using multiple gauges on the same circuit. So until I get all the gauges, I'm just gonna wire nut them together. That'll be fine. Some mini fuses. If I can fill out this box. I picked up a vacuum line. I don't know what size this is. Anyways, it fits over your T-fitting. And some 18 gauge wire. I got in green and white. Didn't have black. So I got some screws just in case. Make a ground, and then of course you got your terminals for the ground. So that's pretty much it. I got some zip ties. Everything's pretty much straightforward. See, the box also comes with a clear hose, which I don't really use those unless it's mechanical gauge. Here's the main supply for it, or main supply wiring, which is pretty cool. It comes with connectors already, and instructions, and the gauge, which I already have kind of mocked up in the car where I want it. Let's check it out. There we go. So that's kind of how I want it right here. And it comes with this this mount too. So yeah, this is the Depo. I don't know what the model number is, but let's get to installing this. So there's plenty of places in the engine bay here to you put your T-fitting in. A lot of people do use the recirculating valve. Use that. I don't particularly like that. I think the best spot for now, because we have, actually I think the best spot would be here. I found a bolt. I'm gonna mount here on the intake. I will mount the boost solenoid, and then we're gonna use this vacuum line here coming right off this manifold vacuum. Put a T here, route it up to the filter, to the boost solenoid, and then we'll route the wire neatly around here, and then we'll go in through that grommet there in the firewall. So hopefully there's enough room. I haven't really measured it yet, but That'll be probably the cleanest way to do that. Alright, so yeah. I can't route this this wire here. I can't route it through that grommet over there and then all the way up to the dash because it's not that long. So, oh shit. So yeah, you can see this is how long it is. It's not very long, so good thing I caught that before I started cutting everything. So going to that grommet over there is out of the question. I pulled off this wiper right here. See if there's a grommet up underneath in here, and there's not. So the next best bet is I found a grommet underneath the dash. See it there? Here's the clutch. There it is right there. It looks like it's you can see like half of the brake booster is covering up that hole, so it's like right below the brake booster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an old electrician's trick. I got some welding wire and I'm gonna feed it up through there, get it up in the engine bay, and then I'm gonna wrap it around the wire that I'm gonna use for the gauge, and then pull it through there, and then I can make a hole, put it through grommet, and then route it up through the dash there. Got it taped right there. Just mocked up, so it's kind of in the way, I guess. But if I tilt my head like this, I could see the coolant temp. So I have a triple gauge pillar. It's gonna go up here, but I haven't really decided if I want to put the boost gauge there or not, you know. So as long as I could leave that main harness long enough, so later on, like I said, I'm going to wire nut the connections for now, and then later on, if I want to move it up to the gauge pillar, or the what do you call it, A-pillar pod, then I can. So yeah, so I'm going to pull this through, and then I'm going to get up inside into the dash, and I'll show you how to wire up that. Got the wire here, run up through the firewall. So right here. So now I'm going to tie it onto this connector, pull it through, and then we should be in business. Got it pulled through. Whenever you're wiring this up, this is kind of how you want to. Kind of messed up now, I guess, but better light. There you go. So yeah, you just kind of want to wrap it around the connector, and then this part here that sticks out, you kind of want to push that underneath the wire. So that when you're pulling it, it won't catch on anything when it's coming through on any other wire looms or anything like that. You notice that, like I said, I don't have a lot of room. It'd be nice if they made this longer. Come on, Depo, what's up? So there'll be just enough room to get up to the gauge, and make sure you leave enough slack in the engine bay so you can wrap a wire loom around it, and you have room to like tie it to other hoses and other things like that to make it look clean, professional, like factory put it in. Now pretty much we're gonna get into wiring it up through the dash. Alright. So, 3 directions. We're not looking at air fuel, we're looking at the boost vacuum. Okay, it shows you, you know, your 2 different harnesses. You have your power harness, your sensor wire harness, which we just installed, and it's got like a kind of like a shady diagram of how to route your hoses in line with the filter. And let's see, this is the part we want to look at right here. See, gauge, require function. So require function, daytime, nighttime. I want this to be red during the day and at night, so look here to the scale. White wire, no connect. Orange wire, connect to ACC, which stands for accessory. And here it is. This is the power harness right here. And these are the wires we're talking about. So of course you got your red, which is 12 volts all the time. You got black, that's ground. And this is what they're talking about, your white and orange wire. So orange wire, you gotta connect to 12 volt accessory. That's basically anything that's switched on when you're in your accessory, when your ignition key, when you turn it on to accessory. So that's like things like radio, that's a big one, anything like that. The way that you want to test that is with a multimeter. You got one? Let's put this to 12 volts. Okay, whatever. Alright, so what you want to do is, this is basic electronics, so what you want to do is you want to find available voltage, which means, so you want to put your black lead on ground. It'll be things like chassis ground right here in the door frame on that bolt. That's probably like the easiest way for ground there. And then for your power wire, this is where you're trying to find available. So basically what you want to think of is the black, the ground is 0 volts. So you want to add 0 to whatever you're going to find. And I pulled off the little coin tray. And up underneath here, it's on the back here. Back here we've got all the different things now. Heater, blower, that's going to be accessory. Door lock, you don't want to mess with that. Fog lamp, that's probably on a switch. That's switched on, because I have a switch right here, which it was on for some reason. Let's see, ABS, don't want to fuck with that. Rear fog, I didn't know I had a rear fog. Huh. Focus. Yeah, so basically out of all these, I would say the radio would be the best one. And that's the third one in from the middle, 15 amp. So that's this one right here. You don't want to use your fingers to pull these out, because for one, I got too big of fingers, but you could break the connection inside of there, and that's never fun to get out. So usually if there's no puller, fuse puller inside of the box. There's usually one hid inside of another box, which the engine bay got one right here. See it? That's what you're looking for. That's a puller for the. Oh my gosh. Break shit. Okay. So this is a add-on circuit right here. So get a good look at that. It's an add-on circuit. Basically how it works is it plugs in to your existing you pull one of those fuses out that you want to use. You plug this in, and this red wire goes to this top circuit right here, and that basically adds another circuit onto your accessory switched radio circuit. So this will go in there. I'm gonna pull that 15 amp fuse, and that 15 amp fuse for the radio goes in here. So then basically you have both your radio and your added on circuit. You have power and accessory. Let's see. Oh yeah. So when you're measuring available voltage, remember black, 0 volts on ground, and then you want to find. Come up in here. Focus. And you can actually test here on the fuses. And I've already done this test before. This was like 12 volts, and this was nothing, but it had a connection to ground. It actually had millivolts, which is basically your resistance through the wire, which means it's connected. When you turn the ignition on, this side has 12 volts, which means that under accessory, this is a switched accessory, and that's what you want to plug your orange wire according to this, if you want it all in red. So I'm gonna plug that in right now. Do this one-handed. Make sure you get it good. These fuckers are in there too. I put it on the directions on the Addon circuit. It says not to go past 10 amps, and I'm guessing that's probably because the diameter of this wire can only hold 10 amps. We're just going to use this circuit for gauges, so, and they're electronic gauges, so I don't see them being any more than 5 amps, but we'll see. So yeah, stick this in there. Just be careful when you're doing this, really push on that one. Alright. So now we're going to stick this in there. There you go. You just added a circuit without having to splice into any lines. You never use those shitty ass T-clamps or whatever they're called, where they bite into the wire. Never use those. Soldering or crimp connecting, like something like this, is your best bet, and you always want to shrink wrap it. For now, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to attach a wire here, crimp that, and it's roughly the same gauge as this wire, and then I'm going to wire nut it together to the power harness here on the gauge. That's because later on I'm going to add more gauges to the circuit, so it'll all be nice and clean and keep things nice and tidy underneath here. Alright, I got everything mounted up. Get my head out of the way. Boost solenoids mounted. Everything's zip tied. There's that air filter. And it's kind of all, there's their T, everything's zip tied. Be very careful if you're doing this on a STI because there's a valve down here. You can barely see it. Anyways, the line that you're going to tap into, follow that into, there's a solenoid down there. And there's a plastic barb fitting on there that's pretty fragile, so be very careful of taking that off. I guess if you have any kind of car that you're doing this on, just be careful, especially if it's old. These things are fragile. So yeah, that's all mounted. I got my wire on there. There you go. Got it routed through the firewall. And just make sure it's not gonna cut on anything. So yeah, it's pretty clean, can't really tell. So final overview of the install. Every time I fuck around with vacuum hoses, especially on a boosted car, I go back and take a paint pen and well first off I take some carb cleaner or brake clean or whatever, and I spray it while our engine's running on all the vacuum connections, throttle body, anything like that. And if your RPMs go up, you've got a leak, so you want to tighten all that up. And if there's no leaks, then I make a mark showing that that's been tested. And you can see got zip ties on all my connections. If I was running some serious boost in this, I would super glue these hoses onto the T-fitting and also use zip ties. But yeah, I went back and everything's marked with a paint pen. So focus. That's marked. So yeah, it's all run pretty good. I still have to get a wire loom for that wire. But it's all working good. There's no leaks. Runs good. I'm not throwing any codes. That's good. So I'm liking it, man. I like these gauges. Alright, so it's all installed. And yeah, I like it. I don't know. It seems to act and react to the boost and everything a lot like the Defy stepper motor gauges. So, you know, maybe these are actually Defy on the inside, you know, Defy parts, whatever, but it's different. I don't know. But I'll start up so you can see. My only thing is that it's not as red as I would like it to be. I think it could be a bit brighter. Engine's a little on the cold side right now. looking through the camera right now, these actually look orange. It looks orange, but it's red. I don't know. I guess maybe it's just the camera, but the red matches pretty well. It's just this is not as bright. I'd like it to be brighter. But yeah, I like it. It's pretty nice, you know. Get a better shot of it. Well, now I know how healthy my engine is. For having 118,000 miles. When this thing's warmed up, it's I'm pulling like 24 inches of mercury vacuum, so that's pretty damn good. And I'm running factory boost controller, factory tune right now, so I'm only hitting 15 pounds of boost, but it gets there, and you know, there's no boost creep, so I was surprised. I thought maybe with the exhaust might be a little boost creep, but you know, it hits up to 15 and stays there, so. Just warming up now. So yeah, that's the gauge. My review on it. I don't know, like I said, I like it. You know, compared to the Defy gauge, it's pretty similar. This boost gauge is what, $80 compared to a Defy boost gauge, the same, you know, specs, like $220. I mean, shit, man. How much you want to pay for a fucking gauge? You know, you're gonna need a boost gauge, EGT gauges, preferably one for each cylinder. I mean, how much money do you want to spend, really? Just to say you have Defy gauges. They're nice, but I kind of think these are made in the same factory. Same part, same factory. Different logo. You know, a lot like the Cybon carbon fiber hoods and the VIS carbon fiber. It's the same company. You know, Cybon just makes a little bit better hood and or carbon parts, and they charge for it too. So, but you know, but yeah, I like this gauge. I'll be getting more of them. I don't know, on Subarus with unequal headers, number 4 cylinder is your hottest exhaust gas temperature, and that's where you have all the problems too. You know, anytime you get blown motors, it's usually number 4. Heads the crack where the exhaust valve is on cylinder number 4. You know, it's just the way the header is designed. It's got the longest runner length, so so yeah, if you monitor number 4 EGT, at least if you know how to monitor your EGTs, tune to keep them below 1600, preferably 1500. You know, so you don't melt your freaking turbo and internal parts and everything. But yeah, I like this boost gauge. It's very responsive. I would take it out and get it on boost, but I can't fucking hold this camera and get it on boost. I tried earlier and didn't work at all. I dropped the phone and shit. So yeah, if I had someone else in the car, I guess. But yeah, Yeah, that's it for now. I like it. I like it. Out of 10, I'd probably give this, I'd give it an 8. 8 out of 10. As far, you know, it's easy to hook up, easy to run. So, all right, guys. Until next time.